I take a sip of coffee. Let it burn a little. 12 if you know a guy, I say. Closer to 15 if you don't. Caroline leans back, crosses her arms. The performance shifts. Now it's wounded reasonableness. It's not about the money. It's about how it looks. Everyone at the gallery events notices these things. Of course they do. Anchor Point runs on noticing. Who arrives with whom? Who upgrades? Who's slipping? You already have 3 watches, she adds. All practical. She says the word like it tastes bad. They tell time, I say. That's the job. She exhales sharply. David, don't do this. Blake just bought Monica a Patek. Laura's husband got her a Cartier last month. I can't keep showing up like the wife of a guy who rebuilds lighthouses instead of buying jewelry. I finish. Silence. Her eyes flick, just for a second, to the hallway. To her phone, architecture, angles. I rebuilt this house, I say calmly. I rebuilt the marina office. I rebuilt half the town after the storms. If you want something shiny and visible, you're sitting inside it. That's not the same, she snaps. No, I agree. It's not portable. She stands, walks past me. Her phone lights up again at 2:07 a.m. She turns it face down too fast. I don't ask who it is. Distance teaches you something else besides details. When something starts to rot, it always asks for more first. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. 13.5 for the one I want. She slides her phone across the table. The watch gleams on the screen like a tiny golden handcuff. If you don't buy me this for my birthday, I'm going on a girls' trip to Miami, and I won't be picking up the phone. There it is, the threat wrapped in designer paper. I look at her, really look at her. The woman I married had paint-stained jeans and opinions about obscure artists. This woman has a blowout that costs more than my monthly grocery bill and opinions about which Instagram filter makes her look thinnest. Have a blast, I say. She blinks. What? Have a blast. In Miami. Don't forget sunscreen. Her face cycles through confusion, anger, and something that might be panic. You're not going to buy me the watch? Nope. I sip my coffee. It's good. I ground the beans myself this morning, like I do every morning, while she slept until 10. You're pathetic. Her voice goes sharp, the way it does when she doesn't get what she wants. You know that? Living in this lighthouse like you're some kind of artist? Blake Thornton offered me a partnership in his Portland development. Real money. Real life. Not this rustic poverty fantasy. Blake Thornton. The name lands in my chest like a nail gun misfire. Blake fucking Thornton. The developer who's been trying to buy my lighthouse for 2 years, who offered me half what it's worth, then 3/4, then full market value plus 20%, who I've refused every time because this lighthouse is mine. My inheritance from my father. My life's work. Blake Thornton, who sent Caroline to soften me up at a gallery event 18 months ago, who she assured me was just a business contact, who calls our house phone at odd hours and hangs up when I answer. Blake Thornton. She said his name like she's tasted it. Blake thinks you're wasting your potential, Caroline continues, standing now, pacing. She does this when she's building to something. He says this property could be worth $3 million if properly developed. But you'd rather play carpenter in your late father's lighthouse. My late father. She brings him into this. I set down my coffee cup very carefully, because if I don't, I might throw it. Get out, I say quietly. What? Get out of my kitchen. Go to your gallery. Go to Portland. Go to Blake Thornton. Go wherever you want. Just get out of my sight. She grabs her purse, Prada, last year's anniversary gift, and storms toward the door, stops, turns. You'll regret this, she says. I already do, I reply. I regret the last 8 years. The door slams hard enough to rattle the lighthouse windows I replaced last summer. I stand in the kitchen for 5 full minutes, breathing. Then I go to my office, the lighthouse tower room with 360-degree views of Anchor Point, and I open my laptop. I'm not a jealous husband. I'm an architect solving a structural problem. The foundation of my marriage has termite damage. You don't patch termites, you rip out the rot. My father taught me that. He restored boats for 40 years, and he had one rule. If the wood is compromised, you replace it. No shortcuts. No sentimentality. I open my photo archives. I document everything in my restoration work. Every angle, every stage, every detail. It's how I track progress, catch problems, ensure quality. But now I'm looking for different problems. I start 6 months back. September, the beginning of fall, when the summer tourists leave and Anchor Point becomes quiet again. September 15th, photos of the lighthouse exterior restoration, background visible, Caroline's white Audi in the driveway, timestamp, 2:47 p.m. She said she was at the gallery doing inventory until 5. September 22nd, photos of window frame repairs, background, empty driveway. She said she was meeting with a client about a commission, but her car isn't here, and she never mentioned the meeting again. September 29th, roofline documentation, no Audi. Inventory day, again. I cross-reference with her Instagram. She's religious about posting, performance art of her perfect life. September 15th, no post. September 22nd, post at 6:30 p.m., captioned, exhausted from moving artwork all day, location tagged, her gallery. September 29th, post at 7 p.m., finally Friday, wine time. Location, our lighthouse. But she wasn't here at 7 p.m. I was alone, eating leftover pizza, watching her car pull in at 8:30. I open a spreadsheet. I'm good at spreadsheets. You can't restore historic buildings without being organized. Column A, date. Column B, Caroline's stated location. Column C, photo evidence of actual location. Column D, Instagram posts and timestamps. Column E, discrepancies. 2 hours later, I have 23 discrepancies over 6 months. Every Tuesday and Thursday, Caroline is at the gallery, but her car isn't at our house. Instagram posts are always delayed, posted after she returns. Locations are always vague or tagged retrospectively. I should feel something. Anger, maybe. Betrayal. The gut punch of discovery. Instead, I feel like I'm reviewing blueprints and finding the mistakes someone else made. I need more data. Tuesday, September 17th, today. Caroline left at noon, said she had gallery business in Portland. I wait 30 minutes, then I follow. My truck is a 15-year-old Ford F-150, forest green, indistinguishable from half the vehicles in coastal Maine. I stay 3 cars back. She taught me to be invisible. Every time she criticized my clothes, my truck, my work, she was teaching me how to blend into the background of her life. Her Audi heads north on Route 1, not toward Portland, toward Cape Elizabeth. She drives for 40 minutes, passes through 2 small towns, turns onto a coastal access road I know well. I installed windows in 3 houses along this stretch. She turns into a driveway. I drive past, pull into a scenic overlook a quarter mile up. The house is cedar and glass, perched on a cliff with ocean views. Modern, expensive, exactly Blake Thornton's style. I've seen his development portfolio online, all sleek lines and luxury coastal living. I grab my camera, telephoto lens. I use it for detail work on high structures. Today, I'm documenting a different kind of structural failure. Through the lens, I watch Caroline get out of her car. She's changed clothes. When she left the lighthouse, she wore jeans and a sweater. Now she's in a dress, navy blue, the one that costs $400, the one she said was too nice for Maine. She's wearing it for Blake Thornton. He opens the door before she knocks. Tall, gym-built in that obvious way where every muscle is decorative, gray at the temples, distinguished, he'd probably say, expensive casual, designer jeans, fitted Henley. He kisses her, not the polite peck of friends, the deep kiss of people who know each other's bodies. I take 17 photos. They disappear inside. I wait. This is where most wronged husbands would leave. They'd have their evidence. They'd call a divorce lawyer. They'd cry or rage or drink. I'm not most husbands. I'm patient. 2 hours later, they emerge onto the deck. Blake's carrying drinks, Caroline's wearing his shirt, and he's carrying papers. I zoom in. Maximum magnification. The image stabilizer works over time. Architectural plans. I can see the layout even from this distance. I know those lines. That footprint. My lighthouse. Blake spreads the papers on the deck table. Points to something. Caroline leans in, nods. She's smiling. I zoom tighter. The documents have official seals, permits. I can make out anchor point and historical restoration permit and a signature line. My name is on that signature line. I never signed those documents. My hands start shaking, not from emotion, from the realization of what I'm seeing. This isn't just an affair. This is theft, fraud. They're planning to forge my signature, claim ownership or rights to development, and take my property. Caroline kisses Blake while holding the plans to steal my home. I photograph everything. The papers, their faces, the house number, Blake's Porsche Cayenne with its license plate, the timestamp on every shot. Then I photograph the view, the ocean, the cliff, the neighboring houses, context, evidence, proof of location. When they go back inside, I wait another hour. They don't come back out. I drive home slowly, carefully, no speeding, no attention. My marriage isn't ending because my wife fell out of love with me. It's ending because she and her lover are trying to erase me. Back at the lighthouse, I download the photos, 347 images. I organize them into folders. Affair evidence, property fraud, timeline documentation. Then I start researching. Blake Thornton Development LLC, Portland-based, 12 projects over 5 years, luxury coastal properties, historic renovation and modern amenities. I dig deeper. Permits for his projects. I cross-reference with county records. 3 projects have violations for work done without proper permits. 2 have complaints from neighbors about construction exceeding approved plans. 1 has a lawsuit from a contractor claiming non-payment. Blake Thornton isn't just a developer, he's a corner cutter, a fraud who relies on charm and bribes to slide through regulations, and he picked the wrong property to steal. I look at my phone, 7 missed calls from Caroline, 4 texts. Where are you? We need to talk. Don't be childish. I'm staying at Miranda's tonight, Miranda, her friend from the gallery scene. Who doesn't exist? I reverse searched the number once. It's a burner phone Caroline bought last year. I text back, okay, 1 word. She hates 1-word responses. 3 dots appear, disappear, appear again. Finally, we're over, David. I want a divorce. I smile. I actually smile. I text, okay. She wants a divorce. Perfect. She's going to get one, but not the kind she's expecting. I spend the next 3 days in research mode. Wednesday, I visit the county records office, pull permits for Blake's projects, photograph everything, discover he's listed fake contractor licenses on 3 applications. Note the county clerk who approved them. Same person every time. Bribery, probably. Thursday, I visit Blake's completed properties. Talk to residents about their experience. Collect complaints, shoddy workmanship, cost overruns, missing amenities. One owner threatens to sue over water damage from improper waterproofing. Friday, I visit the marina where Blake keeps his boat. Talk to Tom Rigby, the harbor master. Tom knew my father for 30 years. Blake Thornton? Tom spits into the water. Guy's a piece of work. 3 months behind on slip fees. Keeps irregular cargo in his boat. Construction materials, he says. But no manifests, no insurance records. I've been documenting it for my own protection. Could I see those records? I ask. Tom looks at me, really looks at me. You in trouble, David? Not yet, I say, but I'm about to cause some. He photocopies everything. Dates, times, cargo descriptions, photos of Blake loading unmarked materials onto his boat. Your dad would be proud, Tom says as I leave. He never let anyone push him around, either. Saturday morning, I'm at my contractor friend Jerry's workshop. Jerry's built half the decks in Anchor Point and knows everyone in the building trade. I need information on Blake Thornton, I tell him. Jerry sets down his circular saw. What kind of information? The kind that ends him. Jerry grins. That's the David I remember from high school. What did he do? He's trying to steal my lighthouse, and he's fucking my wife. Jesus. Jerry wipes his hands on his jeans. Give me 2 days. Sunday and Monday, I work on the lighthouse. Replace floorboards in the keeper's quarters. Repair the gallery railing. Normal work, meditative work. Caroline hasn't come home. Her texts have stopped. She's probably with Blake planning their next move. Let them plan. I'm building something too. Tuesday morning, Jerry calls. You're going to want to sit down for this, he says. I sit on the lighthouse steps, looking at the ocean. Jerry talks for 20 minutes. I don't interrupt. Blake Thornton Development, LLC. 12 OSHA violations over 3 years. 8 worker complaints about unpaid overtime. 3 active lawsuits from subcontractors. Fraudulent permits on 7 projects. Bribery investigation, stalled but documented. 2 properties condemned for safety violations. 1 fatality on a work site, ruled accidental. Family disputes this. But here's the interesting part, Jerry says. Blake's married. Wife's name is Laura Thornton, and she filed for legal separation 8 months ago, but then withdrew it. No explanation. But my guy at the courthouse says she's been quietly compiling evidence. Evidence of what? Everything. His affairs, plural. David, your wife's not the first. His financial crimes, his property fraud. She's building a case that'll destroy him in divorce court. I process this. Why hasn't she filed? Don't know. But if I were betting, she's waiting for the right moment, maximum damage. After I hang up, I sit for a long time. Blake's wife knows about the affairs. She's documenting his crimes. She's playing a long game, and I'm about to accelerate her timeline. Wednesday afternoon, I visit Caroline's gallery. Monica Hayes, Caroline's assistant, is at the desk. Monica's 24 art school graduate, working for Caroline while building her own portfolio. Caroline treats her like a servant. Is Caroline here? I ask. Monica shakes her head. She called in sick, 3rd day this week. Can I talk to you? Privately? We go to the back office. I close the door. Monica, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest. Has Caroline been stealing from the gallery? Monica's face goes white, then red. I'm not asking you to betray her. I'm asking you to protect yourself, because whatever Caroline's been doing, when it comes out, and it will come out, you're going to be implicated unless you have evidence you tried to stop it. She stares at me. I can see the calculation happening. Monica's smart. She knows Caroline's reckless. She's been selling forgeries, Monica says quietly. Or, not forgeries exactly. She represents them as authentic and marks up the price, but the provenance is questionable. 3 pieces in the last 6 months. She pocketed the difference between what she paid and what she charged. How much? Total, maybe 80,000. I whistle. And you have proof? Invoices, emails. I kept copies because I knew this would blow up eventually. Can you send those to me? Monica hesitates. Why? Because Caroline's about to lose everything, and you deserve to come out clean. I'm going to make sure the gallery board knows you tried to warn them. She's your wife. Was, I correct. She was my wife. Now she's just a problem I'm solving. Monica sends the files to my email while I wait. Thursday, September 26th, 5 days before Caroline's birthday. I have everything I need. Proof of her affair, proof of property fraud, proof of gallery embezzlement, proof of Blake's crimes, contacts with Tom and Jerry, Monica's cooperation, Blake's wife's investigation timeline. I am not a violent man. I've never thrown a punch in anger. I fix buildings, not faces. But I am thorough, and I'm about to dismantle 2 lives with the same precision I use to restore lighthouses. Friday morning, I go to Portland, find a lawyer. Not a divorce lawyer, a criminal attorney who specializes in fraud. Her name is Rebecca Ortiz. She's 50, sharp-eyed, and has a reputation for destroying white-collar criminals. I show her everything. She reviews the documents for 2 hours, doesn't speak, just reads, makes notes, photographs pages. Finally, this is comprehensive, almost obsessive. I restore buildings. Details matter. Mr. Winters, what do you want? A divorce will be simple with this evidence. Your wife has no leverage. I don't want simple, I say. I want scorched earth. I want her to lose everything. Her reputation, her career, her social standing. I want Blake Thornton to lose his company, his marriage, his freedom, and I want it to look like they did it to themselves. Rebecca leans back. That's not legal advice I can give you. I'm not asking for legal advice. I'm asking you to be ready to file criminal complaints against Blake Thornton the moment I give you the signal. Can you do that? She considers. His wife's attorney is Sandra Liu. I know her. If I reached out, mentioned we have corroborating evidence for her case, do it, I say, and bill me for every hour. Saturday, September 28th, 3 days before Caroline's birthday. I buy the Rolex. Submariner. Blackface. Steel. $12,400. I pay cash from the account Caroline doesn't know about, the one where I've been depositing 10% of every restoration job for 5 years. My Forget You fund. The saleswoman boxes it carefully. Special occasion? Divorce present, I say. She blinks, then laughs. First time I've heard that one. I wear it out of the store. It's heavy on my wrist. Substantial. A reminder of what I'm worth. Sunday, September 29th. I spend the day packing Caroline's belongings. Every dress, every shoe, every piece of jewelry I gave her, every book she never read, every decorative item she insisted we needed. I pack it carefully, methodically, the way I do everything. 17 boxes, labeled, stacked in the spare bedroom. Then I call a locksmith, have him change every lock on the lighthouse. Front door, back door, workshop, tower access. I photograph the new keys. Monday, September 30th. Caroline's birthday eve. I call a real estate company, not Blake's, obviously. Ask them to make a for sale sign, professional quality. They bring it by at noon. I install it in the front yard at 4:47 p.m. Then I sit in Jerry's truck, parked across the street, and I wait. Caroline's Audi pulls into the driveway at 6:23 p.m. She's alone. Blake must have other business tonight. She gets out, sees the sign, stops, tries her key, once, twice, realizes it doesn't work, starts pounding on the door. I watch from Jerry's truck. Jerry's sipping coffee, saying nothing. He's enjoying this. Caroline pulls out her phone, calls me. I silence it. She calls again, again. Then she notices Jerry's truck, storms over, pounds on the window. Jerry rolls it down. Hey, Caroline. Where's David? Right here, I say from the passenger seat. She goes pale. What the hell is going on? I thought about your birthday present, I say calmly. Decided you were right. I should buy a Rolex. I hold up my wrist. The watch gleams in the evening light. Her mouth opens, closes, opens again. You bought yourself a Rolex? Yep. Seemed like the right investment. Oh, and I packed your things. 17 boxes. They're inside. You can pick them up tomorrow from Jerry's workshop. I'll drop them off tonight. You can't lock me out of my own house. Our house, I correct. The house my inheritance bought. The house in my name. The house you and Blake Thornton were planning to steal with forged documents. Yeah, Caroline. I know about that. She goes from red to white in 2 seconds. I don't know what you think you know. I hold up my phone. Show her a photo. Her kissing Blake on the deck, property documents visible. I know everything, I say. The affair, the fraud, the embezzlement from your gallery. All of it. She grabs for my phone. Jerry locks the doors. Here's what happens next, I say. You're going to leave. You're going to call Blake. You're going to tell him it's over. And then you're going to hire a lawyer because tomorrow morning, the gallery board receives evidence of your embezzlement. Your clients receive evidence of art fraud. And your Instagram followers get screenshots of you bragging about manipulating me. You wouldn't. Watch me. Her phone rings. She looks at the screen, goes even paler. That's Blake, isn't it? I say. You should answer. Tell him his wife's attorney just filed for divorce, with evidence of fraud, adultery, and criminal conspiracy. Oh, and the State Building Commission has warrants for his office. They're executing them right now. She answers the phone. I can hear Blake screaming through the speaker. Caroline's crying now. David, please, have a blast, I say. In Miami or wherever. The locks are changed. The house is mine. Your stuff is at Jerry's workshop. You have until Friday to pick it up or it goes to Goodwill. Jerry starts the truck. As we drive away, I see Caroline in the rearview mirror, standing in the driveway, phone to her ear, crying. I feel the weight of the Rolex on my wrist. You good? Jerry asks. Yeah, I say. I really am. But I'm lying, because this is just the beginning. Tuesday, October 1st, Caroline's actual birthday. I wake up at dawn in the lighthouse that's finally truly mine. The silence is profound. No Caroline's alarm going off at 10. No her showering for 45 minutes. No her complaining about the water pressure I've explained 100 times is limited by the historic plumbing. Just waves and wind and the creaking of old wood settling. I make coffee, drink it on the gallery deck, watching the sun rise over the Atlantic. My phone has 37 missed calls, 23 from Caroline, 8 from numbers I don't recognize, 6 from Blake Thornton. I block Blake's number. Delete Caroline's messages without reading them. The unknown numbers can wait. At 8 a.m., I send 3 emails. First, to the gallery board, from an anonymous account I created yesterday. Subject: Financial irregularities requiring investigation. Body: links to Monica's documentation, invoices, email threads, bank records. Second, to Rebecca Ortiz, my attorney. Subject: Proceed. Body: file everything. Third, to Sandra Liu, Blake's wife's attorney. Subject: corroborating evidence. Body: photos of Blake and Caroline, property fraud documentation, timeline of affair. Then I go to work. I have a window restoration job for Mrs. Patterson, 3 houses down the coast. Historic double-hung windows, original glass, delicate work. I spend 6 hours replacing glazing compound and balancing sash weights. It's meditative, precise. Everything has a place, a purpose, a solution. Unlike marriages, unlike trust. Mrs. Patterson brings me lemonade at noon. You seem different today, David. Lighter. Getting rid of the burden, I say. She nods like she understands. Maybe she does. She's been widowed for 10 years. At 3 p.m., my phone rings. Unknown number. I answer. Mr. Winters? Woman's voice. Professional, cold. This is Sandra Liu. I represent Laura Thornton. I believe we have mutual interests. We do. Can we meet? Today, if possible. There are developments. The Anchor Point Cafe. 5 o'clock. I'll be there. Sandra Liu is 40-something, Korean-American designer suit, briefcase that probably costs more than my truck. She sits across from me in the booth at the back of the cafe. Orders green tea, doesn't touch it. Thank you for the evidence, she says. It's comprehensive. I'm thorough. So I see. She opens her briefcase, slides a folder across the table. My client wanted you to have this. I open it. Bank statements, Blake Thornton's accounts, highlighted transactions, payments to Caroline's personal account over the past 8 months, $50,000 total. He was paying her, I say slowly. He was paying her to seduce you, convince you to sell the lighthouse, and failing that, to facilitate the property fraud. The affair was strategic. My client has evidence Blake has done this before with other properties he wanted. I close the folder. My hands are shaking. Caroline didn't fall for Blake. She was hired. Your wife, Sandra continues, was a mercenary. Blake targeted your property, researched you, identified your vulnerability, your marriage, and exploited it. The affair wasn't passion, it was a job. I should feel something, rage, humiliation, something. Instead, I feel cold clarity. What does Laura want? I ask. Justice. Blake has humiliated her for years. Affairs, financial crimes, emotional abuse. She's been documenting everything, waiting for the right moment. Your evidence accelerates her timeline. She wanted to thank you. Tell her she's welcome. Sandra pulls out another document. Laura also wanted to extend an offer. She's dissolving Blake's company and starting her own development firm. She's looking for an architectural consultant specializing in historic restoration. Someone with integrity, someone who finishes what they start. She slides a contract across the table. Partnership offer. 60-40 split. Historic property restoration, ethical development, 6-figure salary plus profit sharing. You're offering me a job. I'm offering you an opportunity. Laura believes you're talented, and she believes you have something rare in this industry. You can't be bought. I look at the contract. It's generous, fair, more than I make now. I'll think about it, I say. Sandra stands. Don't think too long. The offer expires when Blake's criminal trial begins. Laura doesn't keep business entanglements that long. She leaves. I sit with the folder and the contract. Blake didn't just sleep with my wife. He hired her to destroy me. I drive to the beach house in Cape Elizabeth. Blake's Cayenne is in the driveway. So is Caroline's Audi. They're both here. I park down the road. Wait. At 7:30 p.m., they come out onto the deck. Arguing. I can't hear words, but body language is clear. Caroline's crying, gesturing wildly. Blake's stone-faced, arms crossed. She reaches for him. He steps back. She slaps him. He doesn't react. She collapses onto the deck furniture, sobbing. Blake goes inside, comes back with a box. Her belongings, probably. He sets it down, says something brief, walks back inside, closes the door. Caroline pounds on it, screams something, pounds again. The door doesn't open. She's been fired. I drive back to Anchor Point. Stop at the harbor. Tom's in the office doing paperwork. David, wasn't expecting you. Blake Thornton still behind on slip fees? 3 months now. Why? What happens if someone reports unpermitted cargo storage? Tom leans back. Coast Guard investigates. If they find contraband or illegal materials, they seize the vessel. Owner gets fined, possibly arrested if it's serious enough. And if someone happened to have photographic evidence of unpermitted construction materials being stored? Tom smiles slowly. That someone would be doing the marina a favor. We take regulations seriously. I hand him a USB drive. Anonymous tip from a concerned citizen. Tom doesn't look at it, just pockets it. Might take the Coast Guard a few days to process this. No rush, I say. Blake's got other problems right now. Wednesday, October 2nd. The Anchor Point Gazette runs a story. Local developer faces criminal fraud charges. Blake Thornton's company is under investigation. State Building Commission, OSHA, EPA. His office is sealed. His assets frozen pending investigation. The article includes interviews with former employees, horror stories about unsafe work conditions, unpaid wages. One worker's widow talks about the accident that took her husband. She's suing. Blake's mugshot is in the article. He looks like a wet cat. I screenshot it. Don't send it to anyone. Just save it. For me. Thursday, October 3rd. The gallery board fires Caroline. Monica calls me. They found everything. The forgeries, the embezzlement, the falsified provenance documents. Caroline's banned from every gallery in the state. There's talk of criminal charges. Will you be okay? Yeah. They're promoting me to interim manager, and the board thanked me for reporting it. You were right. Coming clean protected me. Good. David? Is it wrong that I'm not sorry? She treated me like shit for 2 years. It's not wrong, I say. It's human. Friday, October 4th. Blake's boat is seized by the Coast Guard. Unpermitted materials found. Asbestos tiles, lead paint, mercury switches. All illegal for transport without hazmat documentation. Blake is fined $40,000. His lawyer issues a statement. Mr. Thornton maintains his innocence and looks forward to clearing his name. Good luck with that. Saturday, October 5th. Caroline comes to Jerry's workshop to collect her boxes. I'm not there. Jerry texted me when she arrived. I watch from my truck, parked at the marina. She loads the boxes into her Audi. 17 trips. She's alone. No Blake, no friends. When she's done, she sits in her car for 20 minutes, then she drives away. Jerry calls. She left something for you. What? Letter. Sealed. Want me to trash it? No, I say. I'll get it. The letter is in a cream envelope, Caroline's handwriting. Shaky. David, I know you won't forgive me. I don't expect you to. I don't forgive myself. Blake told me you'd never sell the lighthouse. He said you were stubborn, proud, stuck in the past. He said, if I could make you fall in love with someone else, with the idea of a different life, you'd let it go. He paid me $50,000 to seduce you into selling. When that didn't work, he paid me more to help with the forgery. I thought it was just business. I thought we'd split the profit and everyone would move on. I didn't mean to fall for him. That wasn't part of the plan. But somewhere along the way, I started believing we'd actually be together, that he'd leave Laura, that we'd build something real. I was an idiot. He fired me, said I was a liability, said if I contacted him again, he'd testify I acted alone in the fraud. I've lost everything. My job, my reputation, my marriage, my home. You were right about me. I'm pathetic. I wanted a different life so badly I destroyed the good one I had. I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted you to know I'm sorry. Caroline, I read it twice. Then I burn it in the workshop stove, ashes to ashes. Sunday, October 6th. Rebecca Ortiz calls. Blake's wife filed for divorce this morning. She's seeking full custody of their children, the house, 70% of marital assets, and restitution for emotional damages. She has evidence of 12 affairs over 7 years. The judge granted a restraining order. Blake's not allowed within 500 feet of his own home. Good. There's more. The state attorney general is filing criminal charges. Fraud, bribery, falsifying documents, reckless endangerment. If convicted, Blake's looking at 10 to 15 years. How's his defense? Non-existent. His assets are frozen. He can't afford a decent lawyer. He'll get a public defender who's overworked and underpaid. Justice, I say. Is it? Rebecca asks. You orchestrated this. You knew exactly what would happen when you released that evidence. I documented facts. What people did with those facts is their choice. You're not as innocent as you pretend, David. I never said I was innocent. I said I was thorough. She laughs. I like you. Don't do anything stupid. Define stupid. Anything that makes me defend you in court. Monday, October 7th. 1 week since I changed the locks. I'm working on the lighthouse tower restoration, replacing the gallery railing. It's delicate work, historic ironwork, custom brackets, hand-forged details. A car pulls into the driveway. Blake's Cayenne. I set down my tools, walk downstairs slowly. Blake's standing on my porch. He looks like hell, unshaved, rumpled clothes, eyes red. We need to talk, he says. No, we don't. David, please, man to man, 5 minutes. I consider. You've got 3. He comes inside, looks around the lighthouse. This place is beautiful. I can see why you wouldn't sell. You've got 2 minutes, 50 seconds. Blake sits at my kitchen table without being invited. You destroyed my life. No, I say. You destroyed your life. I just showed people what you'd already done. The state investigation, the divorce, the criminal charges. That was all you. That was all evidence, facts, truth. You committed crimes, Blake. You bribed officials, falsified documents, endangered workers. You hired my wife to seduce me so you could steal my property. That's on you. I'm going to lose everything. Good. His face hardens. You self-righteous prick. You think you're better than me? You manipulated evidence, timed releases for maximum damage, coordinated with my wife's attorney. You're as calculating as I am. Difference is, I didn't break any laws. You broke up my marriage. You broke up your marriage. 12 affairs, Blake. Caroline was just the latest. He stands, starts pacing. I could have made you rich. The lighthouse, properly developed, is worth millions. We could have been partners. I don't partner with thieves. Everything I built. He's shouting now. My company, my reputation, my family. Gone. Because you couldn't let go of that lighthouse. Get out. You're going to pay for this. I'll sue you for defamation, for interference, for… With what money? I ask calmly. Your assets are frozen. Your company's dissolved. Your wife's taking 70% of what's left. You can't afford to sue me. He lunges. I sidestep. I know every inch of this space. Blake crashes into the kitchen table. It's solid oak. He bounces off it, hits the floor. I don't help him up. Get out of my house, I say. And Blake, if you come back, I'll call the police. You're trespassing. He gets up slowly. His face is twisted with rage. This isn't over. Yes, I say. It is. He leaves. I watch his Cayenne disappear down the coast road. Then I call Rebecca Ortiz. Blake just threatened me, at my home. I want a restraining order. Done, she says. I'll file this afternoon. Wednesday, October 9th. I get a call from Sandra Liu. Have you considered Laura's offer? I'm thinking about it. Think faster. Blake's trial date is set, November 15th. Laura wants to move forward with her new company. She needs an answer. Can I meet her? Laura, I mean. Pause. I'll ask. Friday, October 11th. Portland. Upscale restaurant. Harbor views. Laura Thornton sits across from me. She's 40, elegant, composed, gray streak in her dark hair, expensive but understated clothes. She looks like someone who's been through hell and came out tempered steel. Thank you for meeting me, she says. Thank you for the opportunity. We order, make small talk, the weather, the harbor, neutral territory. Then Laura says, You're angry with me. I blink. Excuse me? You're angry. You think I manipulated you, used you as a weapon against Blake. I set down my fork. Did you? Yes. The honesty is startling. Laura continues. I've been documenting Blake's crimes for 2 years. Affairs, fraud, everything. But I couldn't act. If I filed for divorce and exposed him, I'd look vindictive. A bitter wife. His lawyer would paint me as jealous, unstable. Half of what I documented would be inadmissible. So you waited. I waited for a victim, someone Blake wronged who'd fight back, someone sympathetic, someone smart enough to build an airtight case. Me. You. She sips her wine. When Blake targeted your lighthouse, I knew. I have access to his company accounts. I'm technically still his wife. I saw the payments to Caroline. I knew what he was planning. And you didn't warn me. Would you have believed me? A stranger calling to say your wife's being paid to betray you? You'd have thought I was crazy. She's right. I wouldn't have believed her. Laura continues. So I waited. I fed information through channels, Monica Hayes. I paid her to befriend you. Tom Rigby. I sent him Blake's boat manifests. Your contractor friend Jerry. I made sure he had access to Blake's worker complaints. I sit back. You orchestrated everything. I gave you tools. You chose to use them. Blake destroyed your marriage. Caroline betrayed you. I just helped you see it clearly. Why? Because I couldn't destroy Blake alone. He's too connected, too charming, too good at manipulation. But a wronged husband? A man defending his property? That's sympathetic. That's believable. That builds public support. You used me. Yes. No apology. Just fact. And you used the tools I provided to get revenge. We both got what we wanted. Blake's destroyed. Your wife's ruined. Justice served. I should be furious. Instead, I'm impressed. The partnership offer, I say. Is it real? Completely. I meant everything I said. You're talented, ethical, and you finish what you start. Those are rare qualities. I'm building a company based on those principles. And if I say no, then I'll find someone else. But I'd prefer you. Why? She smiles. It's cold, calculated. Because you understand revenge. You understand how to dismantle someone completely, methodically, without breaking laws. Those skills translate to business. I drink my wine. Think. Laura Thornton used me, manipulated me, turned me into a weapon. But she's right. I'd have done everything the same way, even knowing the truth. Blake needed to be destroyed. Caroline needed to lose everything. And I needed to win. I'll consider it, I say. After Blake's trial, after everything's settled. Laura nods. Fair enough. We finish dinner. She pays. As we leave, she says, David, thank you for being exactly who I needed you to be. You're welcome, I say, for being exactly the weapon you aimed. Tuesday, October 15th. Blake's preliminary hearing. I'm not required to attend, but I do. The courthouse is packed. Reporters, Blake's former employees, his wife, her lawyer. Blake enters in a cheap suit. His public defender looks exhausted. The charges are read: fraud, bribery, falsifying documents, reckless endangerment, criminal conspiracy. Blake pleads not guilty. The judge sets bail at $200,000. Blake can't make it. His assets are frozen. He's remanded to county jail pending trial. As they lead him away, he looks at me. Our eyes meet. I don't smile, don't gloat, just watch. He mouths something. I can't hear it, but I can read lips. This isn't over. I mouth back, yes, it is. Thursday, October 17th. Caroline's social media is gone. Instagram, Facebook, everything. Deleted. Monica tells me Caroline moved back to Connecticut, her parents' house. She's working at her father's insurance office, Monica says, filing papers, answering phones. From gallery owner to secretary, poetic. Have you talked to her? Monica asks. No. Are you going to? No. Good, Monica says. She doesn't deserve your forgiveness. Saturday, October 19th. I'm working on the lighthouse, replacing the weather vane. It's original, 1880s copper, hand-hammered. I've been restoring it for months. A car pulls into the driveway. Not Blake's Cayenne. A Honda Civic. Rental plates. Caroline gets out. I climb down from the roof slowly. She's standing on the lawn, looking small. No designer clothes. Jeans and a sweatshirt. Hair pulled back. No makeup. She looks like the woman I married. David, she says, you're trespassing. I know. I needed to see you. Why? She's crying. To say I'm sorry. To beg you to understand. To ask if there's any way. No. David, please. I lost everything. My job, my reputation, my friends. I'm living with my parents. I'm 35 years old and I'm filing insurance claims for a living. My life is over. Good. She flinches. You really hate me? No, I say. I don't hate you. Hate requires caring. I don't care about you at all. I loved you. I know you don't believe that, but I did. Before Blake, before the money, before everything. I loved you. Maybe, I say. But you loved yourself more. She's sobbing now, full breakdown. What do I do? How do I fix this? You don't. You live with it. You rebuild. You become someone better, or you don't. Either way, it's not my problem. I don't know how to rebuild. Figure it out. I did. I turn to climb back up to the roof. David, she calls. If you'd just bought me the Rolex. I look down at her. If I'd bought you the Rolex, you'd still have betrayed me. Maybe not with Blake. Maybe someone else. But you'd have found a way. Because the problem wasn't the watch. It was you. I climb up, resume working. Below, Caroline stands in the yard for 20 minutes. Then she gets in her car and drives away. I watch her go in the reflection of the weather vane's polished copper. Goodbye, Caroline. Wednesday, October 23rd. I'm at the marina, helping Tom with some repairs on the dock. Routine work, replacing planks, checking pilings. Blake's Cayenne roars into the parking lot. He's out on bail. Someone posted it, his brother maybe. Tom sees him coming. Want me to call the police? Not yet. Blake storms onto the dock. We need to talk. Restraining order, Blake. You're not supposed to be within 500 feet of me. To hell with the restraining order. You destroyed everything. He's unhinged, wild-eyed, dangerous. Tom steps forward. Blake, you need to leave. Blake ignores him, pulls something from his jacket. A gun. Tom freezes. I freeze. You took everything from me, Blake says. The gun is shaking in his hand. My company, my wife, my kids won't talk to me, my brother charges me rent, I'm going to prison, because of you. Blake, I say carefully, put the gun down. Why should I? What do I have to lose? Your life. You'll go from fraud charges to attempted murder, life sentence. You think I care? My life is already over. He's crying. Gun still pointed at me. Tom backs away slowly, reaching for his phone. You're right, I say. I destroyed you. I documented your crimes. I coordinated with your wife's attorney. I timed everything for maximum damage. I wanted you to lose everything. Why? Because I fucked your wife? No, because you tried to take my home. The affair? That was just business to you. Caroline was just a tool. But the lighthouse? That was mine. My inheritance. My life's work. You tried to erase me. So you erased me instead. Yes. Blake's hand steadies. The gun points directly at my chest. Any last words? I look at him. Really look at him. Broken, desperate, defeated. You're not going to shoot me, I say. Why not? Because you're not angry enough, you're just sad. And sad men don't pull triggers. They pull them on themselves. Blake's face crumbles. The gun wavers. You're pathetic, I say. Not cruel, just factual. You built your life on fraud and shortcuts and manipulation. You think the world owes you success, but it doesn't. You earned this. Every consequence, every loss. This is justice. Justice, Blake laughs bitterly. You call this justice? Yes. I'm sorry, Blake says suddenly. For everything. For Caroline. For the fraud. For trying to take your lighthouse. I'm sorry. He lowers the gun. I move fast. 3 steps. Grab his wrist. Twist. The gun falls. Blake doesn't resist. He just collapses. Sobbing on the dock. Tom's on the phone with 911. I pick up the gun. Check the safety. Unload it. It wasn't loaded. Blake brought an unloaded gun to threaten me. You couldn't even do this right, I say. Police arrive within minutes. Paramedics, right behind. Blake's arrested. Assault with a dangerous weapon. Violation of restraining order. Psychiatric evaluation ordered. As they load him into the ambulance, he looks at me through the window. Empty, hollow, broken. I don't feel victorious. I feel tired. Friday, October 25th. Rebecca Ortiz calls. Blake's being held for psychiatric evaluation. His lawyers arguing diminished capacity. He'll probably take a plea deal, fraud charges, time served plus 5 years, Mandatory mental health treatment. And Caroline? The gallery's pressing charges. Embezzlement. She'll probably get probation, restitution, community service. No jail time. First offense, cooperative witness. So it's over. Legally? Yes. Emotionally? Rebecca pauses. That's up to you. Saturday, October 26th. I'm back on the lighthouse roof. The weather vane is installed. It spins freely in the coastal wind, catching light. My phone rings. Sandra Liu. Laura wants an answer. I look out at the ocean, the horizon, the endless possibility. Tell her yes, I say. I'll take the partnership, but on one condition. What's that? No shortcuts, no fraud, no manipulation. We build things right, or we don't build them at all. Laura expected you'd say that. She agrees. Then we have a deal. I'm packing. The lighthouse is for sale. Fair price, good buyers, it's time. Jerry helps load the truck. Starting over? Building something new. Tom brings whiskey from my father's collection. We drink at sunset. You did good, he says. Reckless, but effective. Last drive through Anchor Point. Old places, old ghosts. Caroline calls. Will you ever forgive me? Maybe, years from now. Not today. We say goodbye. I delete her number and drive north. Vermont, an old brick mill, empty, full of potential. Laura texts. First project, mill conversion. Interested? I smile. When do we start? I look at the Rolex on my wrist. Not revenge, not victory, survival. And sometimes, that's enough.